At my college age, before the college age, I was a sympathizer with the Communist Party in the village. And during my college days, I started in attending Marxist study classes in the village. That was quite enlightening about how the word came into existence. And it was more giving education of the communist doctrine, communist manifesto, state and revolution, and the capital, quite intensive study classes. In India, according to the constitution of the Indian Communist Party, one has to remain sympathizer for a year, and they monitor the work of the sympathizer. Then after 1 year, if the party unit is satisfied, then if the person wants to become a candidate member or prospective member of the party, that prospective member have to serve 3 years as prospective members of the party. And after that work is reviewed, monitored, only then a person admitted into the membership of the Communist Party. So very strict discipline and rules. When I came to UK, I was only sympathizer of the party. The system was, when people, Communist Party members or candidate members or prospective members, they went abroad. They were asked by the Communist Party to contact the Communist Party there and, if possible, to join the Communist Party. After I arrived in Smethwick, it was about 3 months. I found the district party, Communist Party office in Dale End. It used to be on the first floor. I went up there and I talked to the person, comrade named Don Bradford, who was office secretary. I asked him that what is the procedure to join the party, and he said to me that it is different than in India. But he didn't give me application form. He said, "Where do you live?" I gave my address. He said he will ask 2 comrades to visit me. After my visit, about a fortnight after, Joshi and Morris Ludmer. They met me at 54 Oxford Road. On the first visit, they talked to me about the party, how it works, all that. And they said, next time we will bring the application form. If you are willing to join, complete the application form. I asked them, is that's it? They said yes. I said, don't have to serve the sympathizer time? And Morris said no. Candidate membership? No. It is just you complete the application form, we will send to the district office. If they approve, they will send to the head office. And I said, I'm not very convinced about the system. They said, this is how the British Communist Party work. In India, most of the time the Communist Party is illegal, unlawful. Here, it is lawful, and it's a legal party, and it is not unlawful. I said, okay, I thought about it. And 2 weeks after, they returned with the application form. I completed it. And about 4 weeks after, I received my Communist Party membership form. That was that simple. And then Joshi used to visit me. And he was working at that time Handfast Dairies on Chester Road. And he also introduced me to Chaman Joshi. He was another party member. Ajagar Singh Randhawa, another member. Just apart from Joshi, 2 of them. And Joshi used to inform me. There was no telephone at Oxford Road. He wrote letters to me, party meeting such and such time at tail end office, mostly on the weekend. And when I was not working Saturday or Sunday, only then I went. Otherwise, when I was working, I told them that when I'm working, I can't come. So that's how I joined the Communist Party here. And this was the similar operation for Indian Communist Party members who came here, sympathizer, and they joined Communist Party of Great Britain. And each member was attached to a branch. In the Communist Party of Great Britain, they organized colonial and ex-colonial party members to meet as the members of their country or the area. So within the Communist Party was group of Indian comrades was organized under the name of Indian Youth League. So I was along with Joshi was already member, and he told me about Indian Youth League. And I asked him what are the functions of the Indian Youth League. And he said it is working under the leadership of the Communist Party of Great Britain. But regarding politics, economic issues, workers and peasant movement in India, we meet to discuss those issues, and then whatever we come to the conclusion, we pass that on to the party. And that's how the group was functioning. And it was Indian Youth League in Coventry. In the Coventry, one Comrade Teja Sota, one was Chanchal Singh, not the Chanchal Singh from Nottingham, Hardev Dosanjh, Santokh Chima, and several others. And one was Son Chima. When Son Sandhu came to the UK in 1961, he was allocated to the Coventry Indian Youth League. So this is how the Indian comrades, they worked in the Communist Party, but under the discipline of the Communist Party of Great Britain. They were not allowed to take any decision without the authorization of the Communist Party Great Britain from their city secretary or from the district secretary. And city secretary will ask the district secretary will ask the central committee in London, and then they relay back about what's the response of the CPGB. There was Indian Youth League in Southall. Vishnu Dutt Sharma and Ajit Singh Rai, they were group leader there. In London it was Ratan Singh, and in Wolverhampton was Mohan Singh Meli and Son Singh Kamar and Pritpal Singh. They were in Wolverhampton. And it was quite very well knitted network of the Indian comrades. And Indian Youth League was the key force to organize the Indian Workers Association. Yeah.
But wasn't the Indian Workers Association already in existence?
It was in existence, but to work within the Indian Workers Association, Indian Youth League used to meet as communist to pursue the policies in the Indian Workers Association. And that system also worked within the trade union movement. For example, I was member of Amalgamated Union of Foundry Workers and Engineering Workers, and within that there was a Communist Party members group who met as communists to decide on the policy matter, what is their position on several issues. So that was authorized by the CPGB to operate within the broad organization.
So that obviously aided your networking and your connections with other Indian comrades
Yeah,
across the country.
across the country.
Did you feel any forms of restrictions at all operating in that system?
From the state or from the...
Both.
Well, no overt interference, but there has been always a covert interference. For example, after about a month, I enrolled for a membership, maybe 2 months. Two CID officer came to Oxford Road. They knocked on the door. Gashi, he lived in the front room. I was upstairs, and it was a weekend. Gashi went up. He said, there are CID officers who want to see you. Can you come down? So I went down. So they asked me. They didn't pretend, they didn't say directly why they have visited me. And they said, are you Avtar Singh? I said, yes. And they said, we got a person in the custody whose name is Avtar Singh. We want to certain that he is not you. I said, I'm here, and I'm not in the custody. And they said, we want to see your identity. And can you show us your passport? So I shown the passport to them. And they said, can we take down the details of your passport? I said, yes, you can take the details. So they took the details, no other contact. But about 3 months later, Chacha Bachan Singh wrote a letter to me that we have inquiry here about you from the CID, Indian CID. So they sent the report to India, and Chacha was yelling at me in the letter, what you up to there, what you doing, all that. And I wrote back, I'm working in a foundry 6 days a week. And he then wrote another letter. I didn't tell him that I have joined the Communist Party.
Which was the very reason he sent you to England, to keep you away from the activism of the Communist Party in India.
Yeah. So that is how the example, the state, when I said no overt interference, but always covert interference,
Did you feel any forms of racist restrictions from white members of the Communist Party as to the decision making that the Indian workers wanted to pursue?
Yes, there were. For example, for election of delegates to go to the national conference, and most of the time it is white members who become the delegates to go to the national conference. And Indian Youth League took up this matter and pursued the matter with the Central Committee's International Department. And head of the International Department was Indian, Rajni Palmdat. and a delegation from, I didn't go, Teja, Ajit Rai, Ratan Singh, they went to meet them, and that we are not getting elected because in the branch meeting most of the members are white. We are in minority. We put our name forward to become delegate to the national conference, and we don't get elected. And Teja, Ajit Rai, Ratan Singh, we met Indian Youth League before they went to meet, that we should have some allocation for the Indian Youth League to send delegate. It was not easy giving one, then giving to another group. And but about after a year, the party agreed for the Indian Youth League national level to send up to 3 delegates. We accepted that, but we said this is not representative of the membership, which was increased to 5 delegates to the national conference. And then we asked to put resolution from the Indian Youth League. And that took another year for acceptance. First they were saying we send resolution to the district committee sent. So that was one example of racism within the party as well. Voter.